Want to know what's really funny? I learned this lesson, a very important lesson I think everybody needs to know. Do you know what your bank account is? Do you want to know what it is? Do you know what it is?
My guess is it's a computer program.
It's a text file.
Yeah.
It's a text file.
.txt.
The amount of money you have in your bank is quite literally just input text. There's no cash. There's no gold. Literally nothing. And I learned this the hard way because I bought a truck and we financed it. And then after a few months, I went to pay off I paid off the whole thing. 3 months later, I get a phone call and they're like, we're going to repossess your truck because you never paid the bill. I was like, what are you talking about? I paid the whole thing off. And they're like, no, you didn't. Both banks, my bank, which I did the transfer from, and their bank said, we have no record of where this money is. My bank said, when we do the transfer out, all we do is write minus the number and press enter and it subtracts from your account. And then they confirm our subtraction and they do the addition. The problem was the other bank didn't do the plus. So the money vanished.
Disappeared.
That's where smart contracts are needed.
Completely disappeared.
Like and they say
and then I said,
was unsafe.
where'd the money go? And they were like, we don't know. And I'm like, I don't understand. And then I basically had a guy say to me like, he didn't say it like this, but what do you think your money in the bank is? There's no cash in there. You do not have a box full of cash in a vault. They quite literally just type a number and press enter.
Yeah, it's promissory notes.
No, it's not. It's not even a crypto. Like you think with Bitcoin, there's an encryption key behind that Bitcoin. It exists. You could hold it. There's something there, at least a string, a hash code. With your bank, literal nothing. The only thing that exists is the ledger itself. And when the ledger doesn't reflect the actual transaction, it doesn't matter because the other bank went, we don't know, we don't have the money. And my bank said, we don't have the money either. Your money is just gone.
It's so hackable. That is so controllable to think that these private companies have secret text files that have your money on it that they can change at will behind the scenes or that someone else could hack it. Well, like at that point, I do believe crypto is more secure. Even though you could lose it and it could go to zero, they're not at least
diversify your assets. Not necessarily in just what you invest in, but having crypto, having cash in the bank, having cash at home. And like you mentioned a few days ago, having gold. I mean, when things go south, you want to have tangible assets just in case.
I'll tell you guys a story. When I was like 20, I think I was like 21, my buddy overdrafts. And he's like, why did I overdraft? This doesn't make sense. What happened was in Chicago, there was this big scandal where the CTA, the public transit, was double charging people. So we're broke. He's got $30 in the bank. He spends $20. Then his paycheck comes in on a Friday. He should have $180. Instead, he's like negative 200. And he's like, what happened? Well, apparently what happened was the CTA double charged him, putting him negative. Then he got hit with overdraft fee.
Bought a pack of gum for $2 and a $30 fee or something stupid.
So then he accumulates all these overdraft fees. His paycheck doesn't cover him. He's trying to buy things. He's getting more. And then all of a sudden he's negative. And I could be totally wrong about this because it's been 20 years. But I'm pretty sure. We go to the bank. This is a crazy story. And we're hanging out. And he sits down with this like manager guy in a suit. And he says, he pulls up his bank account. And he's pointing at things. He was like, look right there. Like CTA charged me 3 times. Like that caused me to go negative. Then my paycheck came in and the guy was just like, okay. He turns the monitor around and then he starts typing stuff in. He spins it back around and it says like negative 400. And he puts the cursor on the negative and clicks backspace. And then says, how does that look? And then my friend's like, okay. And then he was like, there you go. And he did something. And we were like, wait, what just happened? Does he now have $400? But get this. The bank closed down a few weeks later. So I have to wonder what may have happened was this guy knew he was getting laid off, the manager. And so he was like, screw these people and just transferred money. Right. But I'm almost kind of like, was he screwing with us? Because there's no way he can do a hard input and just change someone's
I think he can. They have discretionary, like a person on the phone can be like, yeah, I'll overwrite your $35 charge, but they only have a certain limit that they can overwrite. And then the manager's probably like $500 per customer per week or something. We
used to be backed by gold. I mean, this is the last 100 years, central banks, Federal Reserve, I mean, I'm sure everyone watching has knowledge on that. But I mean, there used to be when you said, hey, I'd like to take out money, they had gold to trade it in. One quick note on the rat thing. I actually misinterpreted it that, they put them in to last longer. I think we, the people, would actually, like, if they're going to put us back in the tank, we just bite their hand a lot. Like, I don't think I'd go back swimming in that tank for 60 hours.
No, I think I would.
I think a lot of people would.
They want to get people to put themselves in the tank.
I think a lot of people would also be like, we don't. Think of how many people don't trust the CDC, the FDA, Big Pharma. I was like, never like that really before.
Yeah, if you trust the government now, you haven't been paying attention and you had your head in the sand for the last 3 years.
I didn't trust the government, but like I thought at least the medical people were generally pretty squared away.
Let's add the banking component into what's going on now with people saying, like, there's a viral video of people in a bank and they're like, where's our money, right? Think about what can happen if this cyber event is everyone's money disappearing. What happens? Everyone then calls the government and says, I want my FDIC insured, whatever. And now all of a sudden you are on your knees in front of some government BS being like, please, sir, may I have another?
please regulate this industry more, please.
Now we need a central bank digital currency. Now we need a universal basic income, and that's one of the perfect ways to implement.
They're going to come out and they're going to be like, we don't know what happened. It was a cyber attack. The whole.
It's the Russians.
The ledger's gone down. It was Russia who did it. What we're going to do is we're going to give everybody $5,000 in their accounts for the time being, so you can have basic goods. All the poor people are going to be like, yay, and all the rich people and all the middle class people are going to be like, my life is being destroyed.